7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is an urgent interruption to your morning broadcast with breaking news from the Pacific Rim. So please listen closely. A massive magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula on July 30th, registering among the most powerful in decades with a shallow depth of about 19 kilometers near Petropavlovsk to Kamchatsky. Within minutes, a tsunami measuring up to 4 to 5 meters, that is approximately equal to 10 to 13 feet, swept into Severo Kur on the Kuril Islands, flooding parts of the port and damaging buildings, including a garden. Regional authorities declared a state of emergency and evacuated all residents with zero reported fatalities. Japan's meteorological, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, right? Japan's meteorological agency issued evacuation orders along its eastern coast. I'm human, you all, I'm human. Multiple waves were recorded. The largest in Hokkaido and Iwate measured up to 1.3 meters, with smaller tsunami surges of around 60 centimeters in parts of northern Japan. More than 2 million residents were evacuated from coastal zones. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant workers were temporarily relocated, though no abnormal readings were detected at the nuclear site. Across the Pacific, warning systems were in Hawaii, Alaska, and the U.S. West Coast. Waves peaked at 1.8 meters, 6 feet, around Midway Atoll, with Honolulu issuing emergency sirens and evacuation alerts before later downgrading to advisory status as the threat subsided. The U.S. West Coast saw wave heights averaging just over 1 foot, with coastal adversaries in place from California, Colombia, and Oregon, while some alerts extended south to New Zealand, South America, and French Polynesia. In Hawaii, evacuation orders were rescinded and warnings were downgraded to adversaries by morning, while Japan and Russia followed suit later in the day once peak wave activity passed. Oh, welcome, Miles Gonzalez. Welcome to the room. Blessings to you and family, and I appreciate you all being here. Welcome, welcome. I cannot pronounce the next name, but I'm going to say hello to you, and I think it's in Russian, so I'll say Privyet. Privyet, Доброе утро. I know a little bit of Russian, so I think that's Russian, I think. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But anywho's back to the programming. Again, in Hawaii, evacuation orders were rescinded and warnings were downgraded to advisories by morning, while Japan and Russia followed suit later in the day once peak wave activity passed. Authorities warned that tsunami effects could persist for hours as waves arrive in pulses over time. Hi, yes, welcome. From coastlines to volcanic peaks, Kluva-Shiskoy volcano on Kamchatka erupted shortly after the quake, sending lava flows down its slope, an unsettling reminder of the Pacific ring of fire, unquote, still in motion. So I will repeat the program for those of you who are just coming in. If you all know a little bit about me here, then you know that I usually, if I can, I'll repeat the programming for those who are just jumping into the live. Maybe you want to catch the live in action live. And some of you know that, or many of you know that once the live is over and the stream is over, then you all can listen to the program still as well, because I make sure that it's available for folks to listen to after the stream is over. Thank you all again for being here. This program, nothing if you guys are not here. And if you all take the time to subscribe, if you wish, it will help me out a lot, trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and more to keep these programs coming. And if you like the program or you think that the program was informative, because it's a radio broadcast, that's why there's no visuals. If you think that this program is informative, please like if you desire to do so. Massive magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck off of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula on July 30th, registering among the most powerful quakes in decades. with a depth of about 19 kilometers near Peril and Kamchatsky. That's according to routers and three sources. Now, within minutes, a tsunami measuring up 4 to 5 meters, that equals out to 10 to 13 feet, swept into Severo, Kurilsk, on the Kuril Island, flooding parts of the port town and damaging buildings, including a kindergarten. Regional authorities declared a state of emergency and evacuated all residents with 0 reported fatalities, according to Time and 3 other reputable sources. Japan's meteorological agency issued evacuation orders along its eastern coast. Again, Japan's meteorological agency issued evacuation orders along its eastern coast. Multiple waves were recorded, largest in Hokkaido and Iwate, measured up to 1.3 meters, with smaller tsunami surges of around 60 centimeters. In parts of northern Japan, more than 2 million residents were evacuated from coastal zones, according to AP News and 4 other reputable sources. Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant workers were temporarily relocated, though no abnormal readings were detected at the nuclear site. Welcome, KCD Draco, or Draco, KC Draco. Welcome to the program. Blessings to you and family. I appreciate it. Everyone say hello to KC Draco. Across the Pacific, warning systems were activated in Hawaii, Alaska, and the U.S. West Coast. In Hawaii, waves peaked at 1.8 meters, that's equal out to 6 feet, around Midway Atoll, with Honolulu issuing emergency sirens and evacuation alerts before later downgrading to advisory status as the threat subsided. As West Coast saw waves heights averaging over 1 foot, with coastal advisories in place on California. Advisories. I always say adversaries. I'm so human. Advisories in place California through British Columbia and Oregon, while some alerts extended south to New Zealand, South America, and French Polynesia, according to AP News and 4 other reputable sources. Over in Hawaii, evacuation orders were rescinded and warnings were upgraded to advisories by morning, while Japan and Russia followed suit later in the day once peak wave activity passed. Authorities warned that tsunami effects could persist for hours as waves arrive in pulses over time. That's according to CBS News and 7 other reputable sources. From coastlines to volcanic peaks, Cheskvoskoy volcano on Kamchatka erupted shortly after the quake, sending lava flows down its slope, an unsettling reminder of the Pacific, quote, ring of, end quote, still in motion, according to The Guardian and other reputable sources. That concludes your uninterrupted evening briefing. Please subscribe now if you're able to, if you wish. It's completely free. And if you enjoy these updates on video, radio broadcast, how I broadcast it here to you all, that helps me even. Please share it. Help us hit 1,000 subscribers if you wish. It's free to do again, so we can keep bringing you vital, timely alerts. Please stay safe, you family, stay aware, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all so very, very much. Have a beautiful and